What's up, everyone? What's up? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I go by Zombie. I'm very passionate about spirituality, specifically astrology. And one of my main goals of this channel is just to be able to show people how self-improvement and spirituality really go hand in hand. And so if you're interested in any of that, or just possibly becoming a better version of yourself, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. And let's hop right in. And so I'm going to leave a link down below for you to go to this site, right? And when it takes you to the site, the link that is, it takes you to the site. And when you get there, you can put your birth information in and it'll create a chart for you. And so I'm gonna leave that, like I said, in the description. But in this series, right, this video series, I've been running through the placements that you would find in your birth chart, right? Let's say you go put that information in, boom. This is what you will see, or these placements are what you would see with, your signs and all that good stuff. So in this video, we're talking about your Mars sign. Now, in astrology, Mars is the planet of physical energy. It governs your sex drive as well as your basic fight or flight instincts. All right, think instinctual, think primal with Mars. So your Mars sign also shows how quick-tempered or level-headed you might be. This is because Mars is also heavily associated with aggression. Mars is also known as the planet of war, right? Even in like Greek and Roman mythology, Mars and Aries was like the god of war, the planet. And so that has a lot to do with it being associated with aggression, And so with that, your Mars sign could tell you a lot about, your temperament to a degree. Like someone with Mars in Aries, which, Mars is at home in Aries. So someone with Mars in Aries would definitely be a lot more quick-tempered, most likely a lot more of a hothead than someone with, like, say, Mars in Cancer or, another water sign where they might be more reserved or more passive when it comes to just, confrontation in general. So, Mars also represents how you fight and the things you will fight for or defend. So again, going back to like the Mars and Aries example, you might be a type of person that's quick to get physical, right? You don't mind like, throwing hands. But again, back to the Mars and Cancer, you might not really be, even if someone crosses your boundaries, like it's clearly overstepping your personal boundaries, you still might not want to like go there with them. Not to say like that would make you scary or anything like that. It's just like you'd rather take a more passive, a calmer approach to the situation. Now, don't get me wrong, every sign, and with this Mars placement, every placement, even when, a planet is in a weaker sign for it, like Cancer, it still has, ups and downs to it. So with the Cancer energy, of course, Cancer is related to the home and family. So I would say, generally, if you have Mars in Cancer, you would probably be a more passive person. However, when it comes to someone coming for like your family or anything like that, that is when you would definitely see that, Mars energy come out, like what the purpose of it for, right? Where that shit would really come out, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So far as you going from 0 to 100. So in a woman's chart, Mars energy represents the type of man she's attracted to. In a man's chart, Mars represents the way he expresses interest in a woman. And so basically what that means, like if you're a woman and you have like Mars in Sagittarius, right? Sagittarius, they're usually, again, another fire sign, right? So definitely confident, definitely a lot of that aggressive drive there, being a fire sign like, Aries. So with that, you might want someone who's kind of a natural leader, someone who's confident, but at the same time, you might want someone with a more chill, like kind of relaxed side, because again, Sagittarius also, have this thing about them where they are really optimistic and they can be, fun people to be around at the same time. So you might want someone that is, like I said, has leadership qualities, but can have a fun side, a very humorous side to them as well. Sagittarius definitely likes to joke around a lot. So you could be attracted to that as a woman with Mars and Aries. And so, like I said, with the man's chart, basically, if you have Mars, let's go back to Aries, like in a man, if you have Mars in Aries, your Venus sign, I don't know if you watched the Venus sign video or not. If not, you need to go watch that shit. But your Venus sign as a man tells you a lot about what you be attracted in a woman. So once that's triggered, your Mars sign basically will show you how you express that interest in her. So like if you had um Venus in like Cancer, you might like a woman that's very reserved, very compassionate, excuse me, very maybe like a traditional feminine type of vibe. But if you have Mars in Aries, you would express that interest by being very, blunt about it. And, you'd probably be very sexually attracted to her, and that doesn't mean you'd be sexually attracted to just any woman because you have Mars and Aries. But if she does pique your interest, that would definitely be like, one of your first thoughts with that Aries energy. So moving on to the correlation. Mars is associated with your Mars sign, and Mars in general associated with your sex drive, right? Your libido. Again, Aries and Scorpio as well. Definitely more so Scorpio, but both of those signs being ruled by Mars definitely have higher sex drives. Most definitely. Temperament, again, like I said, aggression is definitely associated with fire signs in general, but Mars specifically. So, your Mars sign can kind of tell you a little bit about, your natural temperament, what might piss you off, what you might be able to just ignore, like if you have Mars in Taurus, you might be slower to anger, right? Now, when you do finally reach that breaking point, it could be a lot, because Taurans are kind of like that in general. They can take a lot of shit, but when they are like tired of it, it can be kind of like explosion. But yeah, temperament was definitely and action. Again, think Aries energy. Aries is definitely the initiator. It's the first sign of the zodiac. It's like the spark of life. It's like contraception. Like if you think about sex being like, and reproduction being like one of the main like functions, like as a human being, like one of the main things we have to do, if in order for life to carry on or whatever, right? That's like the spark, right? Like that, the contraception, right? The beginning, right? That is the Aries energy. And so going back to what I was saying about action, right? You have to take action. You have to take the initiative. Aries definitely have a knack for that, and your Mars sign can tell you a little bit about your approach to that type of thing. So if you have like a Mars and a fire sign, especially Aries, because at home there, it might be easier for you to take initiative. Now, at the same time, you might have a hard time with finishing things, because that can definitely be a big thing with Aries. They can start projects, but they might not finish it. Now, if you have Mars in Taurus, Taurus is very dependable, very steady, and as an Earth sign, very grounded, and they like to see things through when they are, serious about a project. So having Mars and Taurus can be a plus for that. But keep it pushing. Functionality wise, the domain or the home signs for Mars rules Aries as well as Scorpio. So if you have Mars in Aries or Scorpio, it's a very good place for your Mars sign to be. Can express its natural, energy, the way it wants to, comfortably, so far as you being an assertive person, or you taking the initiative, or you expressing your sexuality comfortably. So detriment wise, opposite. If you think opposite of Aries and Scorpio, Mars is at detriment, meaning it's weaker or weakest weaker in Taurus and Libra. And again, like I said, there's the plus to having it in Taurus. You could take your time when it comes to getting things done. And Libra, is not that bad either. Again, it's all just how you look at things. At the end of the day, it's perspective. But Libra is definitely more of like a selfless energy, and Mars is kind of like that desire to, take care of the self. And so the two energies are kind of conflicting, And the exaltation, excuse me, moving right along. The exaltation is Capricorn, meaning that Mars is, being a Capricorn allows Mars to express that energy of drive and getting things done very, very comfortably. Capricorn being an earth sign, especially being like ruled by Saturn, Again, very business oriented mentally, and that doesn't mean you're going to be an entrepreneur if you are a Capricorn. However, like, you're very organized mentally, very structured, and Capricorns definitely like to accomplish things, definitely like to get things done. So that is a very good sign for Mars to be in, because you can put that energy towards doing whatever it is, and it's helps it out twice. It's like tenfold. It really helps it out. So that's basically all exaltation means. It's a nice place for the planet to be. So fall wise, where I would say it's the weakest thing, because I feel like with the fall it's kind of like the weakest. Again, in Cancer, if you have Mars in Cancer, like I said before, you definitely might be more passive aggressive, unless, like I said, it comes to matters of the home or family, but definitely probably more passive aggressive. You probably have to, rest a little bit more, again, with Mars relating to like your physical energy levels. If you have Mars in Aries, you might be very, energetic, very off the walls, especially when you were younger. But having it in Cancer, you might need, your time alone to recharge a little bit more often, than others. But that was your Mars sign. If you found this informative, again, hit that subscribe button. And like I said before, I'll leave a link down below so you can go to your site, put your information in if you have it, and hopefully start your own journey of self-discovery. But until next time, I'm out.